Well, it's a cold, well, screwed that up. It's a nasty, dreary day. I come to a new spot. Well, it's not really new, but I haven't hunted it in like 13 years. I used to hunt off my horse in here. Small game, and I think it was muzzleloader season or something, general gun season or something. I come in here. I got a late start this morning, but I had rain coming through. I timed it perfectly. All the rain, I was following the rain the whole time, and but it's still gonna be a wet son of a gun. I've got my rubber boots, and it's thick. I'm sitting here re-looking at the map, trying to remember what I used to know about the place. See if I can even get around here where I'm wanting to go. Where I got an idea of where I want to go. I know another way to get there, but the wind would be wrong. This place runs kind of back to the east, and I'm sorry, to the west. We're going to be working with a south wind or a southwest wind, but I've got to go up and back down to hunt, to make a big loop, half circle of J-hook to get in here to be able to place a stand. And actually hunt it. So that's one of the things I'm going to have to fight here. I know why they don't have the cows in here yet. I stepped off into one of the hammocks. This would be the easiest way to get through here, I believe. But I found out why they don't have the cows in here yet. There's watermarks on the trees in the parking lot. Oh, got high. Like mid-thigh, bottom of your pants pockets. High, so that's why there's no cows in here right now. After the threat of hurricanes and rain, they'll start putting the cows back in here. Because I only been in here, no, this is 13 years ago, but I was in here in November, December, January, and just beating around on a horse. Saw some does. This is a very heavily, this is an open area, it's open the whole season, so it gets pounded. I already saw one. There's a deer track. I already saw one tree stand walking in on the main trail. That's a pretty good, no, that's a good deer track too. or if it's a big old doe. That's a good deer track. He might be circling this hammock. I don't know if anybody's going to be hunting like inside. I'm following his trail right here. He's just circling this inside edge of this hammock. The deer were feeding this morning. This could be this morning, but I think it was last night or yesterday. It's not that fresh, but that's a good sign. But I'm just looking for deer here. I'm not looking for anything spectacular. Elliot wanted to go with me, and this place being open, I can come in here on my day off instead of having to take a weekend off. And we can come in here as long as you don't mind fighting the mosquitoes. We can hang the saddles. This hammock is pretty thick. I don't even think you can see down in it from a tree stand though. I think I'm still following this deer's track. It's through there. You might get sit in a ground blind in here. I'm not that far from the truck. This is nice and thick. This is pretty. I don't know if there's any. I don't see any food in here. There's some ferns. I don't know how thick it is up there. We may find a trail in one of these thick hammocks and sit on it on the ground or in a ground blind, so we can at least keep the mosquitoes out. Let me walk on up a little further and see what I can find. I'm still found this track. I've got another 50-60 yards and I'm still on this track, but I want to show you all cabbage hammocks, right? Look at the visibility in here. There's 20 yards through a couple pockets. There's 15, maybe 12. I can't shoot through there with an arrow. You can't shoot through there with an arrow. Now look up. If you think you can get in a tree and see down in this crap, sorry about your luck. It's thick. I think this, if we decide to come in here, this is going to turn into a ground blind situation. But I'm just getting started. I did bring one cell camera. If I can find a place to put it and it looks promising, I know nobody will find it, then I might put it out. But let me keep following this around. We're almost to where I want to go. Man, you can't go nowhere these days. Jeez. Old Twisted Tea though, he found something. There's kind of, I'm not gonna say it's a trail. There are trails in here, but I've got, I think 2 sets of tracks. It's either 1 set or 2 right here. And Old Twisted Tea is right here. So he might have been sitting here hunting. I don't know. I don't see. There's no sense to put a stand in here. Starting a little bit of a transition edge here. That opening that I want to get to. Not that I have to hunt an opening, but that drain I was talking about is just beyond these last trees. I just up in this area. I made a big kind of circle through this hammock. Because on this side there's a bigger pond, and it's way over my head and cattails and all kinds of stuff. I'm hoping the pond ends right up here somewhere. I'm hoping this drain right here, I don't even remember how wide it is. It can't be more than 70 yards wide. I'm hoping it's a little more open. But this is what I'm getting into as I get down this edge, where on this other side it wasn't like that. There was just a couple. So I'm gonna keep walking down it in the hammock and see if there's any trails coming in and out. See if I can see any more tracks from this morning. The deer were feeding this morning, so I want to go a little bit further to where I wanted to get, like I was walking to a tree stand and pop out and see what it looks like. I don't want to pop out here yet, but I want to look for more tracks in here where the rain can't just wash them away. This is the only place you're going to find tracks in this place. It's in this mud here in this hammock, so just keep walking a little bit further and I'll ease my way back out toward that edge here and there on the outside of the hammock. And it's starting to thin out a little bit too. I don't know if that's good or bad. I mean, there's a spot right here. I think I'd rather stay in the thick if I had a choice. Find a trail. So I might get in here. Open in the morning and there's all kinds of people in here. I don't know. I've never been in here during archery season. I used to come in during the week during general gun, and normally I'd be alone. So let's keep going. I found a more open spot in the hammock. Look there. Here's a water line. I kind of made it to where I wanted to go. It popped out, and this stuff's over your head with gator bush, cattails. I didn't see, there were some deer walking down the edge of it, not many, feeding on the very edge as soon as you walk out of the hammock. But if I go any further, it might be clear down there, I'm going to run into people. I was thinking that if I have to walk this far through this hammock to come out the spot, maybe somebody else won't be there. I think what I'm going to do, I'm going to cut right through the middle of it. Go back south. The wind is swirling like crazy. Now, if there was a deer trail in here, in this more open, I mean, you could get in a tree in here if deer were crossing and we had a good south wind. Or even better, a west wind. But I don't know that I want to bank on something like this. There's probably a tree stand in here somewhere. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to cut right through the middle. And it may stay open. I may be on another transition edge within the hammock as this hammock's changed as I come around. And maybe there's this cabbage hammock runs through here and the thicker stuff keeps running along this edge. Something like that maybe. And we'll find out. There's an old rub. These deer here probably, I'm sure, still have their velvet. It's only August 24th. So these deer probably still have their, no, they should be shed pretty quick. Pretty quick. So maybe if I find a new rub in here. I'm not seeing any beat down trails or anything, but here's another old rub. I can probably get away putting a cell camera in here. This might be the trail if they run this long edge. This might be where that deer I was following went to. This edge, I mean this opening. Like I said, I think it runs a good length in here. Might be something to look at. So this hammock is probably 40 acres. So what I've seen so far on that end, along the edge, I followed that deer track. I kind of lost it. Maybe they turned and I hit it again, it twisted T, more than likely probably another one. And then right there, I hit the Florida Trail, which means access. So I know that's rain's coming in. Okay, so I know that trail's there. That gives access. I know people can access it over there too, but I didn't really see where they would go far. So what I'm looking for now is a little pocket. So I know where the tracks were. I know where the trail is. I know you can't access it from over there, but you can come in the same way I did. The trail's behind me. I know somebody accessed right here. I found a thermocell, empty thermocell bottle right there. So I hooked back around. I hooked back around even more. I didn't want to keep going that way because there's more access, better access that direction. But I hooked back to where, towards the direction I came in on. And I'm making a long J. I might can find a pocket in there. People aren't going. And maybe that's where the deer are. I mean, if I jump one, I know that that's where they're at. I think they're still feeding those. They may not be in here. I don't know. They might be out in the wide open where they can see everything. So if you get in a situation like that, you got access here, you got access there. When you're in a thick enough area, what you can do is find a pocket within that area. Now this isn't the only spot I'm gonna hit today. I know the weather, what weather does. And how thick it is in the sign I find, but there might be like I said, there might be a little 1 acre or a ½ acre little pocket in this deal. Maybe super thick. And that's where these couple deer, this place isn't ate up deer, but that may be where those deer are holed up at. And they hear everybody coming in, beating around in this hammock, and they just stay holed up, and it may be sneak in close enough they get up to feed a little bit. Got a little bit of feed time, not much. I'm gonna keep beating around in here, and I'm actually going back towards my entry point, so I'm not hurting anything there. Oh, mosquitoes are bad. I haven't left that hammock yet. I'm in the same hammock. I decided to make another loop. I came up on a spot where diversity changes. I'll show you. It's like an opening with salt brush or something out there. There's water oaks in here instead of live oaks and cabbages. I found all these old trees. And there's old historical rubs everywhere in here. No, it's not a rub line or anything. There's like 12 or 15 that I've seen in here. This place goes back that way. There's kind of this point that jots out into it. There's a lane here, kind of a travel lane that I came in on. I'm not seeing a lot of sign yet, but I'm afraid I'm too close to the daggum road. There's an old rub there. An old rub there. And there was about 3 of them up there where I walked in. Looks like a kind of a travel corridor, maybe. Taking 3 different directions. It's an old rub. They're all over this place right here. I don't know if they're going to use it. That's an old one. It's healed enough. I'm right on the edge. I don't see any fresh ones yet. I don't even see any sign, but it's been raining. Got a piece of an old one right there. I can get in here with the right wind. A little one, but it's healed up. There's another one over there. There's another right there. There's another one right there. There's another one right there. There's 2 right there. There's 2 more in the back. There's another old one healed up right there. I'm right on a different edge. If I were to keep making my loop, this is where I would end up. I'm almost back to the south end of the hammock. There's the edge, and it's pretty rank. Like a deer track right there. There'll be some deer tracks right here. Might have been one right there. This used to be clear and open, but I was way back there, and I made it almost here, almost to this edge. The edge that drain is on the back side going this way, and it turns into the pond, comes this way, comes back south, and wind's in my face. We get some food in here in the next 4 to 5 weeks. There might be some deer in here. At least 1 buck is using it. 1 or 2 bucks are using it to rub in here. This place has gotten so thick the last few years. Kind of a trail coming out of here.
don't know what it is. I'm not seeing no hog signs, so this might be deer. Deer might have bedded down right there. You get out this maiden cane and so you just sneak through this stuff. This maiden cane just nipping the seed buds off. They're eating the grasses down the ground. I don't see any yet, but I see something. See, that one's been eaten. This might be where to go. Pretty easy access. I don't have no way to see in here. That would be cool. There's some cabbages if I get up high. Looks like most of the signs out here. Like this trail has been used. I think a deer laid down right there for a little bit, took a nap. Like I said, I'm not seeing the hog. This trail right here coming out there might be well used. Can I get in here where it hadn't rained? Maybe. See if I can find some tracks, fresher tracks. I don't know. If it's something to got it marked. Mark this trail. I can't remember where it's at. This might be something to look into. I do believe. Sit here all day and you don't see anything, and probably not worth messing with, but got that old rub line and stuff marked. There may not be a way to get out, in or out of here in the south end, as thick as it is, and that would keep people out. That's my boot track. Might be another trail going out right there. This is my hunting out here now. Been used once or twice. Not much. So, I'm going to make notes of all this. And we may come in here. We have about four Sundays of hunting to come in here and hunt. If not more than that, maybe 5. People don't run all the deer out. Nobody gets in this pocket here. Maybe, and it may be a pocket. Like I said, I may not be able to get out in the south end, but just keep everyone else from coming in. The last rubs I showed you were right there. I walked this way through them and then went to that trail. There's another one right there. I started walking from over there. So this is kind of snakes this way. This is the edge right here. The deer kind of funneled right here. Some which way or another. Like caterpillars. Yeah, there's a caterpillar. Eating this milkweed, I think. Yeah, eating the milkweed. Ought to be putting on some cocoons. Shortly as big as he is. He's an old little rub. Another rub. back there. This is kind of a trail right here. It leads you right to these other rubs. And then there's kind of a trail direction I came from in here with rubs. I walked in here. They may funnel these deer through here. I don't think there's a way out that way. That's that edge and that thick pond. See, I come in here first. There's a rub here. There's a rub there. That one might. A little spike or something may have bumped that one time. There's an old rub. Might be another trail through there. And this edge may circle around, I don't know. I'm gonna walk around and look. Well, this is some place to look at for the future. I've got a couple acorns here too. Not many. Big water oak. Dropped a couple acorns. I don't see any tracks, but this rain, it's just been miserable. Don't see any droppings either. There might have been 2 tracks right here. They may not be in here yet. See, that almost looks like a track. I can't tell. But I don't see one. It is, it's a fawn or something. Found a little soft spot right there. But, I mean, I'd be willing to pick out a tree here. At least picked out if I have to come in here blind. I don't know how far back I'd have to get. But that's where old ground blind comes in handy though. You just pop that sucker up right here. That's an older track. Pretty sure. It's straight downwind. This wind's gonna play a big part in how this plays out. So I think what I figured out is this is it's a, what would you even call it? It's the bottom end of a hammock. It's only 100 yards wide. It's just the bottom end of it. And it's a different habitat than up there in straight cabbages north of me here. I almost got down here the first trip. I was back off in there somewhere. About 100 yards, maybe 150. So, I mean, if the wind's coming out of the south, all the deer would be coming from behind me. And it'd be hell. To hunt this. with all your wind blowing up in the hammock. Your best bet would probably be to hunt that edge and that trail. There's enough cabbages there. Looking down, anything comes by in that pond, feeding by. I'm kind of not worried about this. I don't know. And it's thick, but man, there's no trees. This one wouldn't be terrible if the bark was clean. But it'd be a pain in the butt to climb with a saddle or a climber. There's one over here. We don't have much straight downwind shots, just some pockets. And you'd be behind. So this one, that trail's right over there. There's a little bit of an opening back here. Here's a bunch of these rubs. And I guess the deer would travel right there, and they probably come behind you too right here. That's going to be the issue. But that tree you could get up with a saddle. But if deer ever stops behind one of these trees from you, and you can't get a shot, you're kind of messed up. And you got all this trash to shoot through. It'd be kind of difficult. But it'd probably work. You get up right there, 3 sticks high, you can shoot down there, shoot a pocket hole that way, a hole that way, and a bunch over here. You don't get up too high. You don't get above those cabbages. You'd want to hunt low. You could even put a climber up that one. There's one in there, but it's too close. There's deer tracks here and here, and there's downwind of you. So, I don't know. I'll think about this. We've got a couple weeks. I made it back to the car. That was interesting, to say the least. This place has changed a lot since I was here 13 years ago. It almost looks like they took cows out of here. I'm still sitting in the parking lot. Mosquitoes rank as I thought they'd be, or just as rank as I thought they'd be. I did find some deer sign. Found those rubs. Found 4 or 5 tracks. Could be the same 2 deer in that hammock doing circles. I don't know. If nobody else is going in there, we may try that. I mean, Elliot, archery season, if he can stand the mosquitoes. But whew, man, it is thick. I bet you, because this is not just since last year, I bet you there's some bucks in here that nobody can find. I don't know how many people are hunting in here. It's a Sunday 4 weeks before season, and there was a guy just camping out in his van here. He looked like he might have been volunteer clearing trails or something, but I don't know. It looks like one truck pulled in here and made a circle. They could have turned around or something. But overall, I mean, There's sign. But you don't know how old it is. There's intrusion. Because where I went wasn't too hard to get into. I thought it'd be a little bit harder, but it was hard enough. I come back south of the Hammock. After I come out of the Hammock, I come out of the north side of the Hammock, and there's another road, or there's a road that follows the south side of the Hammock. And I went all the way to that drain that trail goes out into that flat pond, edge of that little marsh. I got there, and I mean the bushes are 8-10 foot tall on either side of the road. I used to hunt it here by horse, and when you got that far, you could see all the way across this place. They had cows in here, and they mowed it. I don't know. If there's not a bunch of people in that spot, it might be worth it. I don't know what the rest of it looks like. I didn't go. I used to go about a mile in, and I might do that one afternoon with an electric bike or something, because I can haul ass down that road and just go look and see how tall this stuff is and how thick it is. See if there's any trails crossing the road. I had to go down into the marsh because it's right. The road's right on the edge of a marsh. Excuse me. I don't know. We'll see. I'll come back and check it out, or we'll come back archery season, because this opens up before our other hunts are quota hunts. So this opens up before our quotas. It's not too far from the house, so maybe me and Elliot come check it out. Maybe we'll see an old doe or something. I don't know. Alright, till next time. Florida Outdoors with Brian. I'm going to the house. I think I'm going to go check around some other spots. There's some other access points in this place I'm going to ride around. I might have something to add to the video. I don't know. So, alright. If I don't, I'll see you next time.